Well, gang, we're just gonna get right into it. We got a whole lot of these conspiracy clips that I want to share with you in this video. Like the video if you love your mama. Also become a member if you want to help support the channel, so in case we ever get cancelled, we can live to fight another day. There are images going around like these that you guys are about to see in this video that are absolutely insane. First of all, I want to show you guys this. Shout out to Barry Step. Roll it.
The biggest breakthrough in the history of science.
I could make a sperm out of your skin cells and an egg and fertilize that.
So you can clone me?
I could clone you. I won't do that because it's illegal, but biologically we could do that. I can make organs, mini organs from you and test drugs. What we're doing in the lab is we have...
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. Personalized medicine. When you come to my lab and you have to promise you're going to come, I'll show you we grow these mini brains in the lab. And we've got them from people that are predisposed to Alzheimer's or not. And we have a way to age those brains so that they're now 80 years old, even though they're only a few months old. And they lose their ability to fire electrically. They become demented in the dish, little mini brains. On Instagram, I've shown some photos of these. They're pretty cute. And so we give them Alzheimer's and dementia in the dish. And then what we do is we have the system to turn on those 3 embryonic genes, OS and K, and those brains go back in age. But here's the cool thing. Alzheimer's goes away. That electrical activity comes back. Now we do this in a mouse. We make the mouse older, just let them age out, or we accelerate it. And you'd be now reversing the age of those brains in the mice. And you can...
So it really feels like that we're living in a matrix, huh? I remember seeing a similar version of this a while ago, so it was insane then and it's still insane now, but kind of desensitized, so...
And guess what happens? They get their memory ability to learn back.
Unbelievable. Do you hear what you're saying? It's almost like, if you can find a way right now to stay on this planet healthy for the next 10 or 20 years, if you can manage to do that, that there might be an extension of your life at a magnitude of another 20 or 30 potentially healthy years possibly, and you said 10 earlier. If you just find a way to extend your life, it may be a completely different world we're living in a matter of a decade.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I'm fascinated by the constant incremental improvements that we're making on increasing the human lifespan. This is probably one of the most exciting points of focus, though. If they can reverse the aging process of our brains and make us mentally young again, then getting old wouldn't be such a bad thing. Of course, it would suck when your body starts to degrade and you start to lose certain physical abilities, but losing your mind and not remembering your loved ones is by far the part that scares me.
Oh, I 100% agree with that. Yes, that's... Yeah, imagine that, right? Yeah.
If they could just fix that, I feel like a lot of people would not be so stressed out about the aging process.
Scientists might have just created consciousness by growing brains in a jar and connecting them to a computer made from stem cells that were stimulated in a special way to form neural tissue, which grew and eventually formed structures and even brainwave activities similar to that of a premature human baby. They then hooked up this brain into a computer, connecting it into a virtual world where it learned to play Pong completely from scratch. I want you to realize what this means. Like, this isn't a computer bot that was pre-programmed to know exactly how to play the game.
It's like human mind that they're developing, kinda? Is that what you're saying?
That's easy. It's an organic brain that they grew themselves, that was given Pong with no instructions, and it just taught itself how to play. Which is honestly nothing new. That's just AI. But this is organic AI, which happens to learn quicker and is also more energy efficient than traditional AI. It learned to play Pong in about 10 to 15 rallies, when a regular computer AI would take around 5,000. Albeit the computer AI can simulate those 5,000 rallies much quicker, but that takes a lot more computing power, which is sorta our main bottleneck with AI at the moment. Energy. This is Organoid Intelligence. Take human brain cells, grow them in a petri dish, and then use computers to train them just like AI. Naturally, there are ethical concerns rising as there is surmounting evidence showing us that these are conscious, like a human. Even the scientists working on it themselves admit these organoids are sentient. They took it a step further and tested out these organoid brains inside real physical robots, feeding them the sensory input of everything the robot...
Oh, look at that. Look at that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like that this was made in one of the P. Diddy cave, though, you know? Like, just looking at you coming out like that with 2 cameras mounted. Holy crap, man. That is... And it apparently got organic brain that they made in a lab. Insane. These are truly, like, fascinating times. Right, so I'm all up for research and learning and, you know, developing new stuff, right, to increase the lifespan and study especially the brain, because the brain, it's still to this day, we do not know how the brain fully functions. We know a little bit, but not fully. It's like the oceans, we want to explore the stars, which I'm all up for, but we don't even know what's down there in our oceans. They always say odd percentage, like 80%, 90%, 95%. of the oceans are unexplored. We always hear these percentages, right? So it's one of those, it's baffling. It is baffling, if I wanted to summarize within one word.
Experiences. And since the computer chip running it is organic brain matter, this technically by definition is a cyborg. Then there are companies like Final Spark that let you rent server space on these organoid brains, which essentially act like organic CPUs. You can
So we're gonna have like subscription-based services with this crap too? Shit, man. I guess you're gonna own nothing and be happy. Imagine having to pay. Imagine one day you somehow, it's mandatory for everybody to get like Neuralink, or we're in a day and age where, you know, maybe you and I are not around, but you know, our grandkids or future generation, they're probably gonna be used to all this crap. So they're like, yeah, let me get that brain chip. Mommy, I wanna get a brain chip. Here you go, sweetie. This is your birthday present. You know what I mean? And start to connect the dots, and you know, the future generation, all of them are like putting brain chips in their mind, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, access denied. You need to pay $20 a month or $100 a month to keep your brain chip functioning, which is already in your head. Imagine this. Imagine something like that, right? And honest to God, I think that might be a reality in the future.
Even see live streams of the brain computers you're renting out. And now this next part right here, what they're doing here might actually prove simulation theory. So they have this virtual butterfly simulation that's controlled by the organoid brains, meaning the brains feel and experience everything the butterflies do. Again, the brains weren't trained or programmed how to be a butterfly. Just like they did with Pong, they were just fed the sensory feelings of being butterflies and kind of figured out themselves how to flap their wings and just exist. Much the same way you weren't pre-programmed to walk or talk. You experienced sensory inputs in the forms of sight, sounds, touch, and taught yourself along the way. This is an organic brain being fed computer data to make it believe it actually exists in a simulated world, and it's also likely sentient. This company essentially just created the Matrix for butterflies, and its consciousness is available for you to rent out. And when no one's using it, it still just continues to exist with no human interaction whatsoever. If the brains really are conscious, as the scientists suggest, they're not gonna know they're this organoid computer brain in a lab hooked up to a virtual simulation. They're gonna believe that they really are that butterfly. If that's the case, what's stopping all of us from being our own organoid brains in some lab in a different dimension? Meaning this.
The Matrix, man. The Matrix. Damn.
Everything we see and experience right now is our own simulation that we've been plugged into, except we're not butterflies, we're humans. And everything we do, every decision we make is not by our own free will, but by some, I don't know, fifth dimensional entity renting server space in our brains. Just the same way this Final Spark neural platform lets us do. And when we sleep, maybe our idle brain computational power is used for other purposes, which we experience as dreams. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. You gotta sleep tonight. Are we really brain organoids? Existing in our own petri dishes, connected to and experiencing a fully virtual simulated world? Because we just pulled it off. And according to simulation theory, if we're capable of creating virtual simulated realities, then chances are we're already living in one.
That's pretty crazy. They pretty much just proved that we could all
I guess that's an understatement. That's pretty crazy. That's an understatement.
Be in a simulation. And think about the fact that even though we assume that we exist in our minds, we just know that's where our thoughts are taking place, supposedly, but that's not where our essence is stored. The brain is just how you process information and send out commands to the body. It's not who you are. We don't even know for sure if it's where you are. So maybe the real version of us is actually hooked up to a bunch of wires sitting in a petri dish somewhere in a lab. It's crazy to think about, but these guys pretty much just proved that it's a possibility that it can be done, and it doesn't even look as complicated as I thought it would be. Hey, if you're enjoying this video,
that's absolutely is ludicrous. Now, before it gets too late, I want to show you guys this one here. Roll it.
A 10,000-year-old petroglyph painting on the wall by Aboriginal people in India. And look at this. It is just mind-blowing. If you see this, it's just incredible. I'm going to show you about 7 or 8 more pictures of these, and they're not created by AI. And I'm going to show you a video of a guy walking up to them so you can see the proof yourself.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Now, I know these depictions, these pictures, these paintings look like they're made by AI, but they're not. They're actually there. There's videos of people walking up the mountain, going to these places. Look at the UFO over their head. He looks Egyptian, doesn't he? Look at that. That is not human. What the hell is that, man? Look at this guy. That guy has three legs.
I've never seen like these types of paintings or images before. Oh, of course, like I've seen the hieroglyphs, right? I believe around the pyramid in Egypt. You know, there's like a sign of a chopper, helicopter, and then there's like a UFO. I believe in a lot of the older paintings, we see like objects flying in the sky. We've seen all of that, right? So yeah, it's been fascinating to see all those images and paintings from thousands of years ago. Like people made those paintings thousands and thousands of years ago, and they apparently have UFOs in them and crazy crap like that. So it always keeps you wondering, right? Like, were we in communication with them all the way back then? Are we still now? I mean, conspiracies say that we are communicating with them, but it's like the elite. It's like the 1% of the 1%. It's the government, like the secret departments within the government, not the entire government, but it's like the 1% of the 1% of the 1% that are in communication with them. And you always hear these conspiracies. God knows if those are true or not. Of course, I'm a believer that we're not alone, but now you also see crap like this. It's insane. And these paintings are big, so you can see like all of these people here for in comparison, so you can see the size comparison as well. Does that mean that these beings that we're seeing in this painting were this large, or it's just like a painting, right? Well, you got, by the looks of it, these are two people, just one is on the ground kind of worshiping it, right? Insane. And this being reminds me of you know, the bad guy in what's that movie called? Let me think
legs
of it.
or really long dong. I don't know. You choose, because it is unbelievable. I mean, look at that. That's a depiction of a UFO with people inside and people below. Look at this. Look at this. It's just...
Yeah, so it's Justice League. Yeah, this is who I was thinking about in my mind. You see this guy? Yeah, holy crap. Look at that. So you see this shape of a head? I'm telling you, man, like a lot of these movies, somewhere a director is definitely investigating and researching. Like a lot of the movies that you see and crap that you see, of course, it's inspired off of something, and somewhere some research went into it, right? So you see this is the bad guy in Justice League that was an alien, right? And we saw a similar painting just earlier. So the second I saw it, I was like, yo, that's from Justice League. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
Mind-boggling stuff. Some of them have 6 fingers, some of them have 3 toes. This one has 6 fingers and 3 toes. I'm going to show you a close-up of that in just a second. Look at that. You can't tell me that's not a UFO? Are you kidding me? What the hell are we looking at? Shit, yeah. I'm almost pissing my pants, man. This is some serious shit.
And the way human mind works is that it needs to see something in order for it to create something, right? So is this imagination, or were the people that painted all of that, were they in communication with them, or they saw these beings and then they were like, okay, so we don't have cameras, but we need to preserve this and we need to put this on, you know, pen to the paper kind of situation. We need to like draw this out so we don't forget it and we don't lose it. And they did all this, or is this imagination?
And I'm going to show you a little bit more. Hit that like and subscribe button.
Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe.
All right, look at this. Look at this. Let's take a close-up look at this creature on the wall. And this one is just, wow, so incredibly detailed. Look at its eyes. It has no mouth. It has no nose that we can ever perceive. This is weird stuff. And this object, this person, is about 8 meters tall. 8 meters tall. That's unfreaking believable. Now you can
yeah, it's gonna be hard to say whether these paintings were just big for the sake of them being paintings, or are we seeing the beings in these paintings in their original height measurements. You know what I mean, right? So it's hard to say whether these beings were this tall, or it's just like a painting that's being made super big.
Look at that. What's that on the side of the hips there? What is that? Is that some kind of feathering? Is it some kind of like fingernail bone stuff coming out, growing there?
Man.
Now look at the hands. Look at the hands. That's 6. Yes, 6 fingers.
Holy.
6.
1, 2,
not
3,
easy to miss.
4, 5.
I mean, not easy. How could you not see that? It's just 6 fingers.
Kind of feels like 5 to me, but maybe. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, he right. 6.
Now, 6 fingers doesn't always mean non-human. However, let's look at the feet in just a second. Now, here it's a little harder to see because 3 of the fingers are connected. They're touching. They're touching, but you still see 6. Now, this is a little odd, 6 fingers, but when you look at the legs, you see like 3 huge claw-like appendages. I mean, that is weird stuff, guys.
Yeah.
That is strange. I mean, India must have been like alien central for all the ET tourists in the galaxy, because there is a lot of alien pictures depicted in their mountains around India. Why did aliens choose them? I don't know. You'd have to ask aliens, but this is stranger than strange.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever seen images like these before, honestly. I think this is my first time seeing them, or maybe I've seen something like that before. It feels like an X-ray scan, honestly.
And look, under his ribs, under his arm area, you could still see another face. Wow, that is just freaky cool.
Here, you mean? Oh, we got a video. Oh, crap, okay. I'm from Pakistan, by the way, so let's see if I can understand them. I'll translate for you guys if I do. If they speak Urdu or Hindi, I'll understand, but if they're speaking another language, I won't for sure, but... Inaudible. Okay, now they're speaking something else. Maybe Tamil? I don't know. I'm just assuming that. Yeah, I'm not sure about it, but let's actually get to this part here.
w.barry-step.com.
You might have already seen this map of the Tartarian Empire, but a detailed map with the names of the different provinces is hardly known. So, let's take a closer look at the Tartarian Empire and the people who used to live there. First things first, let's clarify something. The Tartarian Empire and Great Tartary are often used as synonyms today, but they're not exactly the same thing. Great Tartary was the largest province within the Tartarian Empire and was further divided into Siberia, the Russian Empire. Yes, you heard that right. And to the southeast, there was Chinese Tartary. And no, Chinese Tartary shouldn't be confused with China itself, as it was much smaller than today and located right beneath it. Other parts of Great Tartary included independent Tartaria, Tibet, and what we now know as Pakistan was referred to as Mughal Tartaria. It's important to note that the term Mughal has nothing to do with Mongol, nor is it related to present-day Mongolia. The word Mughal actually comes from Greek and simply means great. Now let's shift our focus to the smaller parts of the Tartarian Empire found in Europe. We had Muscovite Tartary, which coexisted alongside the Russian Empire, Cuban Tartary, and Little Tartary, which corresponds to modern-day Ukraine. But here's a crucial point to remember. Tartaria has no connection to the Turkic Tatar people of today, and multiple historians have made it clear. Tartary was more like a union of diverse provinces in Asia and Europe, ruled by the Russians in the north. Some even interpret the Russian coat of arms as a symbol of the Russians conquering Tartaria, because it features a knight slaying a dragon. The truth is, the Tartarian Empire never used the dragon as its symbol. Instead, they embraced the griffin, a mythical hybrid creature with the traits of an eagle and a lion, both widely recognized Indo-European symbols and often seen on the coat of arms of European noble families. Dragons, on the other hand, have always been associated with China and its subgroups like the Mongolians. The Tartarian Empire faced
that is also linked with the new Chinese New Year too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Its downfall at the hands of the Chungars, a subgroup of Western Mongolians, around 1530 AD, or 7038 according to the Slavic calendar. The name Tartaria derives from the gods Tark and Tara, who were the children of Perun, a deity worshipped by Slavs and other Indo-European peoples. According to the beliefs, Tark and Tara were the protectors of Asia, known as the Land of the Oz or Aesir people.
Man, so how many years old these pictures are from? Like how many how old are these pictures? Is it like AI generated? Is it real? Because nowadays you gotta ask that question too, right? And if these paintings and images are real, then yeah, man, that's crazy, right? Insane to think about. That us humans or at one point were like that, or maybe these are not humans, maybe these are considered like the gods from a religion or from a culture, I guess. No disrespect, I'm just an observation. It's an observation that I'm making right now.
I just thought this was one of the greatest breakdowns I've ever seen for the Tartarian Empire. It's mind-blowing to me to see just how much evidence there is to show that not only did these people exist, but supposedly they had highly advanced technology. I'm thinking even technologies that we would be amazed by today if we could get it back. And they left these immaculate structures all over Europe and other places in the world, and yet we're still told that they never existed. I don't know if...
This is my first time hearing about it, so I didn't even know. I don't know how old that time frame is or how old those paintings are, but...
The reason that they're trying to hide Tartaria from us is due to them trying to keep us unaware of free energy technologies. That is my best guess, as well as most people who study Tartaria, because that's the only logical explanation that I've ever heard proposed as to why they're trying to hide them. But they are absolute.
Yeah, I mean, free energy is something that we heard a lot from the Dr. Stephen Greer as well, right? With the aliens and all that they have free energy and all that. They're trying to hide it. The EA and all that. The Martians are here. Lock yourselves in the basement and all that crap, right? Yeah, it's crazy, man. Check out this video on the screen. This is the last episode that we've done. If you like this, if you enjoyed this, you're gonna love this one, fellas. Check it out and I'll see you right there.